Hello everyone, welcome to Big Data Thoughts. Today we are going to talk about something really interesting and what people are talking about these days. It is ChatGPT. So we'll talk about everything that you need to know about ChatGPT, what ChatGPT is, who developed it, how does it work, what was the purpose, and then we'll look at how ChatGPT responds so quick. So a very brief demo. So let's get started and talk about ChatGPT. So first of all, let's talk about the company who built ChatGPT. So OpenAI is the one who built and released ChatGPT into the market. It's a non-profit open source AI research and development company. The mission of OpenAI is to develop AI in a way that it can benefit everyone. The purpose was to democratize AI or use AI for human benefit. It was initially started by Elon Musk and Sam Altman in 2015. This company was formed, but eventually Elon Musk left the company in 2018. But the whole and sole purpose of this was to promote and democratize AI, have people benefit from the artificial intelligence advantages. Now, this company has a lot of projects that they have built, and they're quite impressive in the field of AI. And one of them is DAL-E. Now, this is something which has gained a lot of publicity because DAL-E is meant for actually looking at text and then creating images out of it. So you write text about something and it will interpret and create an image. The second very famous project is GPT. So there are many projects, innovative and beneficial ones that the company works on, but these two became very popular. And GPT is generative pre-trained transformer. So this is what can generate human-like text. And ChatGPT, as the name also suggests, is based on this particular project, GPT. Many versions of GPT came in from GPT-1 to GPT-3, and today ChatGPT that we see is powered by GPT-3. So this is all about the company and who started making different types of AI projects and then got into ChatGPT. So now let's see what is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a conversational AI model which has been developed by OpenAI. This is a large language model. And what does it mean? Like I said, there was a project that they started which is generative pre-trained transformer GPT. And the GPT was built by training it on massive amount of text data from the internet. And ChatGPT, the whole purpose was to design a conversational bot, a bot or a chat bot which can actually talk to humans like a human. So it generates, when you ask questions, it generates text in the form of, it's like a human like text, meaning you will feel you're talking actually to a human when you're talking to ChatGPT. And it can actually respond to various topics like history, science, mathematics, everyday knowledge. So there are multiple facets on which you can actually talk to a chat GPT. The response is very quick, and it is a conversation bot, which means it can actually do conversation with you, and it will be like a dialogue format. There was earlier something called Instruct GPT, which was built before ChatGPT by OpenAI, and it could follow instructions in a prompt and give you responses. But ChatGPT is a advanced model of that. It can talk to you like a human being. So all in all, ChatGPT is a conversational AI bot which can do conversations like a human or generate human-like text. Now, why ChatGPT is becoming so famous is one, the responses are very quick, they are human-like, and also it can generate code, it can debug code. So there are a lot of speculations going on, and people are thinking that, is it going to take away jobs from engineers, doctors, or lawyers? There were certain articles or news publishers where people were actually using ChatGPT to generate essays for their college submissions. So it's like cheating. So some of the colleges actually banned ChatGPT. But so there are a lot of speculations going on in terms of whether jobs will be reduced, whether this is ethical to have, code generation from here. Is it good to generate essays and then submit in the school? So a lot of things are going on. But if we keep all of them aside and just look at the benefit that ChatGPT gives us, so it is really good. It helps you in understanding so many things in a very nice way and get responses very, very quick. Now let's talk a bit about the base GPT on which ChatGPT is built. So GPT started from the first version of GPT, which was originally it was a model that was built in 2018, and it had, so every model AI model will have some parameters, and you would typically tune those parameters to increase the accuracy of the model. So when GPT first came in, it was actually in 2018, and it had total 1.5 billion parameters, and it was a success. But then they came up with GPT-2. GPT-2 was again, it came up in 2019. It had 1.5 billion parameters, but it was trained on a much larger data set. So when we talk about AI ML or models, the higher amount of data, the higher amount of different scenarios that we can key in as a training to that model, the better the model would become. So when GPT-2 came in, it had same number of parameters, but the data that was fed to it was much more. Hence, the model became much more powerful. And finally, GPT-3 came in 2020, which is now the base of ChatGPT. It has total 175 billion parameters. It is like one of the largest language models that have ever been built till date, and it has shown a lot of capabilities and much better performance than the earlier versions. And if you see the accuracy of from chat gpt from GPT to GPT-3, it is much more because of the extensive amount of data it has been trained on. And like I said, chat GPT can answer questions in different fields. It has been trained on a lot of text. Now, how was ChatGPT built? As we know, ChatGPT was built using GPT architecture, which is a transformer-based neural network. So GPT is nothing but a transformer-based neural network, and it was built in two phases. First is the pre-training phase, and then the after pre-training. So what was done in pre-training phase? This model was trained on massive amounts of data from the internet. And what was used initially in the pre-training phase was unsupervised learning. It was fed. And what does that mean? Unsupervised learning is where, if I give a very layman example, if you give a child a task to recognize fruits, but what you do, you give us labels saying that, okay, these are all red, these are all yellow, these fruits are citrus, or you give some indication saying this is a group of things or fruits which are citrus in nature, yellow in color, these are red in color. So you're actually tagging and giving some identification to the child to learn. But what if you don't tell the child anything? You just give a dump of fruits to the child and ask him to categorize and recognize. Then that's unsupervised learning, because you have not assisted him with any kind of information to categorize the things or club the things. The child, he or she, is going to look at the bunch of fruits and categorize as per its own choice. So that's unsupervised learning. So that's a very normal example from our day-to-day life. But here, what was done is basically a lot of text, billions of words of text were given to the model, and it was asked to predict the next word in a sentence. Okay, that's how this process helped the model to learn different kinds of patterns in the data and build a representation of the language. So it was purely unsupervised, just a bunch of millions of words or billions of words, and it was asked to detect the next word. So it had to on its own decipher what the next word would be. So that kind of a unsupervised learning was done. After this pre-training phase, when the model was fine-tuned on smaller data sets to make it generate better human-like responses. So now what was done? First it was unsupervised. Now the model was run on smaller data sets, and then it was trained to generate answers given a prompt or a question, because the whole purpose of the bot was that if somebody asks a question, generate a response based on the question, understand the context of the question, the topic, the area, and then based on the training on the billions of data sets from the internet, it will give you a response. And then you could fine tune the model. So in these two phases, the chat GPT was built. Does it respond to questions? Now, when you ask a question to ChatGPT, it is purely based on the past training. There is no live internet browsing at the time when the questions are being asked. So, the ChatGPT cannot access any new information. It is purely based on all the past training of the data that it has taken. Now, you would think that's a limitation because it's not doing on the fly, but actually so we'll talk about the limitations of ChatGPT also, but in this model, it is purely working on the past trained data, but that data which it was trained on was huge. So practically, you would see that it has answers to all questions from multiple areas. Now let's talk about features. So what is the biggest feature of ChatGPT? First of all, the most the biggest USP is human-like text generation. So ChatGPT's whole purpose, or it was designed to generate text that is similar to a human language. It has been trained on a huge amount of data and it can respond to various topics with they are not claiming 100% accuracy. They have put it on the ChatGPT website also that it will make mistakes or it can be a bit, because it cannot be 100% accurate, but it is reasonably accurate on most of the topics. It is versatile because it can be used for multiple applications like customer service bot, language translation, and other. And it actually responds to multiple areas, questions on multiple areas. It is context aware. So it can understand the context of the conversation and generate responses. So when you are talking, it knows it's a flow. You are asking questions for the previous topic itself. There is a context awareness. It has multilingual support. It has done training on large scale of data. Like I explained earlier, GPT-3 was trained for on huge amount of data set with 175 billion parameters. So that's one of the USPs of this ChatGPT. It has fine tuning capability. ChatGPT can be fine tuned for specific use cases or domains. And another USP or best thing is it is open source. OpenAI has made this code for GPT architecture, including ChatGPT, available for public because the whole mission and purpose of this company was to democratize AI, to use AI for the good of human beings. So that's why it is open source and it can allow everyone to pick up the code and do any research development that they further want. So these are the salient features of ChatGPT. Now let's also talk about limitations. Everything that has pros also has cons. So ChatGPT, and they have put it up on their website on OpenAI, and I have actually taken this from there, and they have called it out that there are biases and inaccuracies because it is trained on text data from internet. So it is bound to have some inaccuracy or biases. So it doesn't claim that it is 100% accurate. It also has very limited understanding of real world because it is trained on a text data. It doesn't have understanding of real world, right? It's a bot. So its ability to answer questions is limited to what it was trained on. Now it doesn't have common sense, of course. It's a machine, it's a bot which is responding to us based on the experiences it has built on the past. When I say experiences, it's purely data that was collected and it was trained on. So sometimes the answers can be incorrect, nonsensical, it will not have common sense. Also, there is a limitation in multi-turn conversations. Now, what does that mean? So, ChatGPT is capable of understanding the context of a conversation. Okay, but there may still be some issues in maintaining coherence because if the conversations are too abstract or if the conversations go in different directions, it may not be able to have that context because it's not like a human mind who can interpret abstractions and answer. Then there is a limitation on emotions and personality also because it's a bot. It can generate, although it can generate text like a human or a human language, it does not have emotions or personality. And that is what is a distinction between a human and a bot. However great you train a bot, however, whatever is the volume of data that you feed in, but it is still robot. It's a robotic or a machine response. It doesn't have emotions and personality. So these are some of the limitations of ChatGPT. Now let us quickly look at what ChatGPT is capable of. Okay. So if you go to the OpenAI and you read their mission, you would actually see what I was talking about, that it is meant for to ensure that artificial intelligence is highly autonomous systems that outperform human at most economically valuable work, and it benefits all of the humanity. Right? And now you can actually go here, you can go to ChatGPT and you can say try ChatGPT. So it will bring you here. You can actually sign up or log in. So I already have an account created. So here is how the chat GPT looks. When you enter here, it shows you, you can create a new chat, it shows you examples. So you can actually ask it to create a code. You can get creative ideas, you can do a lot of things. These are examples, capabilities and limitations. So for example, if I just say, I read streaming data using Spark. Now it can actually provide you with a program to read streaming data. Now you see this, it is writing a PySpark program, it is giving you actual code. You can copy this code as a template and then fill up what you need and use it. So people are actually using it to generate code, and that is where that fear comes, that should we really, these kind of technologies, are they going to overtake the job of a developer or an engineer, or they are just assisting us? Right? So you can actually get code. Then you can ask questions like, so you can stop it, you can regenerate, you can debug code, you can ask it questions. Tell me about global warming. It can be any field, question from any field. So it just starts giving you responses, and it people are actually using it to write essays also, as I said, right? So this is how simple it is to use ChatGPT. Okay. Yeah, so this is about how ChatGPT is simple to use, and you can ask any questions, generate code, do whatever you want. Now, one more thing, this has been in use some time back about Microsoft having this OpenAI collaboration. So I just wanted to briefly touch about it also. So Microsoft and OpenAI has made the GPT-3 language model available on Microsoft's cloud computing platform, Azure, and which allows developers and businesses to easily access that. GPT-3 is the core of ChatGPT. OpenAI and Microsoft has collaborated on Teams as well. So Microsoft has this Teams software, right? So OpenAI and Microsoft have partnered to bring GPT-3 language model to Microsoft Teams, and it allows users to interact with the model and perform various language tasks directly with the Teams platform. Also, there are multiple research programs that both of them are working on in the area of AI. So this was a very quick info and input on what ChatGPT is, what is the buzz, how does it work. I hope this helps you. So please like, share and subscribe to the channel to get many more such interesting videos. Thank you.